Yeah, good morning, everyone. This morning, I just want to take a few minutes to talk to you about the dangers of used equipment when you buy it. I'm going to show you something on this tractor we just bought that could have been really dangerous, could have been a really expensive repair if something happened, and it possibly could have caused some injuries, possibly pretty severe. So let me show you what I found on this thing. Hello, and welcome to our channel. We're glad you're here. I was contacted by a viewer yesterday out of South Carolina asking for pictures of the backhoe mount that comes on this tractor. He has a similar tractor and a similar backhoe that he just picked up the backhoe and was wanting to have someone fabricate brackets for him to hang the backhoe. So I came out and took pictures, and when I was taking the pictures is when I found this possibly very dangerous issue. These are the two brackets that hang under the tractor body. This one goes on the left side. The one on the right side here is apparently a homemade one that I don't know in the past if it fell off and got lost or if it got bent or whatever, but someone has made this other bracket. It's definitely not as heavy. This one is 1/2 inch plate with 3/8 plate on the outside and a 3/8 shim. This one is only a 1/4 inch angle and I think 3/8 outside bar here, so it's definitely not built as heavy. Since this is 1/2 inch and this is only a 1/4 inch, I've made a matching plate so I can weld this together to stiffen this up and make it stronger, and I've also fabricated another one of these shims for the other side so we can eliminate those washers. We're equal in strength, or as close as we can get, and we're shimmed out properly, and we also have new bolts of the correct length. But that is not the main issue. You can see here, this is what they had it bolted to the tractor to. The bolt's way too long. These 3 washers are being used as a spacer, and it did not have this top hole in it yesterday. So it was only being held on by 1 bolt, and that bolt wasn't very tight to begin with. And then on this side, try and show you underneath here. Hope lighting's good enough. This blue section here is where the loader attaches to the tractor. There's 4 bolts that hold this to the tractor. This long bolt here was holding on that bracket. Again, it wasn't very tight. And this long bolt that I have in this hole went up top here and held the bracket on. And again, it wasn't very tight. There's an empty hole. This only had basically 1 tight bolt holding this entire side on. This one was loose, or snug at best, and this top bolt was snug at best. This bottom bolt is completely missing. Same story on the other side. It had these 2 front bolts in. It had that bolt with the washers and the big nut on it down here, and nothing up top. So on this side, we basically had 1 tight bolt and 2 loose bolts holding this entire section on. And on the other side, we had 2 relatively tight bolts on the front and 1 relatively loose bolt on the bottom. So at best, this loader was being held onto this tractor by 2, maybe 3 bolts instead of 8. Now the first thing we did when we got this tractor, we moved logs with it, we cut firewood, we moved that firewood in the bucket, we put the forks on it, and we moved a round bale. So I had probably 1,000 pounds hanging on the front of this tractor on 3 bolts. Now if he wouldn't have contacted me for pictures, I probably wouldn't have crawled under here and looked at this for a while. And today, we have to move another round bale. So the whole point in this video is just to tell you the importance of when you buy a used piece of equipment that you don't know the history of, you got to check it over good. Maybe you take a handful of wrenches with you, crawl around, check bolts, make sure they're tight. Because if these 3 bolts basically, or 2 bolts that are holding this loader on would have let go, I mean, who knows what would happen. If it had pulled those brackets up through the tractor, it would have, I mean, what's there? The whole dashboard could have got ripped off. It could have kicked back and killed me in the seat. I mean, who knows? So just, if you buy used equipment, I mean, even if you get it from a dealer. I mean, we bought this from a private individual. I can't fault him. I think he bought it, had it for a year, and I don't think he did much other than use it. Some people take good care of stuff, some people don't. And that's just the gamble you take when you buy used equipment. But even if you buy it from a dealer, and there's no guarantees, you've got to check stuff over well. You're not going to probably find something like this when you're looking at it to buy it in a yard or in a driveway or at the dealership. But when you get it home and it's yours, you've got to go over it, fine-tooth comb, and make sure everything is good and safe. Because I mean, one of the leading accidents and killers is farm equipment, and you know, a lot of those deaths and injuries come from tractors. So make sure when you buy used equipment that you check it over really, really good so that accidents don't happen and that you're safe. So I hope this video helped you. I hope if you haven't used equipment, you take the time to look it over well. We're going to get this put back together today so we can use that loader to get that hay. But make sure you check it over well. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.